A very warm good morning, kids. Today we are going to study environmental studies looking around. Let's start with chapter number 7 of your science, that is experiments with water. Before proceeding with the chapter, let us see some of the general instructions. First is mind mapping. It holds the introduction and main highlights of the chapter. Aims and objectives shows the outcome of the lesson after learning and understanding of the chapter. For better and easy understanding of the chapter, PPT is given. Spell the words after listening the reading of the chapter and learn new words and their meanings. Watch the video and understand the concept whenever you feel difficulty. PDF of assignment and question answers and their other notebook work is given so that you can revise and practice the concepts of the chapter. All the points are very important. Kindly read and adhere them. Before starting with the chapter, let us see the aims of the lesson. To know about density. To know about floating and sinking objects. To know about soluble and insoluble things. Now, it's time for mind mapping. Whenever I say the word water, what comes to your mind? Come on, think. Okay, good. So, first thing that comes to your mind is rivers, lakes, and ponds, etc. That means sources of water. Also, forms of water. In class 3, we had studied 3 forms of water: solid, liquid, and gaseous. Solid is in form of ice, liquid that we drink water, and gaseous is water vapors. We had also learnt in chapter number 6 about the scarcity of water. That's why we should save water, right? We do know that water is required for all the activities, either cooking, washing, drinking, bathing, etc. We can say water is important for survival. In fact, life is not possible without water. Now, let us start with the chapter. What floats, what sinks? Aisha was waiting for dinner. Today, Ami was making her favorite food, puri and spicy potatoes. Aisha watched as her mother rolled out the puri and put it in the hot oil. She saw that at first the puri sank to the bottom of the pan. As it puffed up, the puri came up and started floating on the oil. One puri did not puff up and did not float like others. On seeing this, Aisha took some dough and rolled it into a ball. She flattened it and put it in a bowl of water. Alas! It sank to the bottom and stayed there. So kids, what we are learning? Basically, we are learning about a story of a girl named Aisha. So this is the case study of Aisha. Let's have a look what we had read just now. Aisha was waiting for her dinner. Today her mother has cooked puri and potatoes and it is her favorite food. When she put puri in hot oil, first it sank in water. Then it puffed up and it started floating on water. If puri did not puffed up, it do not float. Now can you tell why? Can you think of why? Okay, I will tell you. Before that, let us see what happened with the Aisha in the evening. In evening, she dropped the soap in water. It sank. Think why? Let us find out the answers of all the whys by understanding one concept, that is of floating or sinking object. We observed few objects sink in water, whereas some float on water. Let us see examples of floating object. First one is wood, paper boat, tennis ball, aluminium foil, empty plastic bottle, and a small cute duckling. We had also observed some objects sinks in water. Let us have look on examples of sinking objects. Key, stone, iron nail, rice, and spoon. Now let us know why these objects float on water and why some of the objects sinks in water. This is because of density. Density means heaviness or lightness of an object. Now, for better understanding of the concept of density, let's have a look on one small video.
How do things sink? How do things float? This is not wrong, but it's not the whole story. Objects that float are less dense than the same amount of water. Objects that sink are more dense than the same amount of water.
Okay, kids. Now, I hope you have understood what is density. Density is basically heaviness or lightness of an object. We are not saying the word heavy or light. We are using it heavier or lighter because we are comparing it with the water. If the object is having high density, it will sink in water. Whereas if an object is having less density, it will float on water. Okay, now let us see the examples with the help of a poem that is given in your book. Why, oh why, a wooden boat in water will float, but a needle will sink. Why does this happen? Let me think. An iron ship will also float, though it's much heavier than my boat, but a needle, light as a leaf, thin as a pin, will sink right in. Why does this happen? Let me think. Now you can tell me why this happen? Because the density of wooden boat is less than water, whereas the density of needle is higher than water, and that's why it sink. I hope the concept of density is clear to you. So kids, now we are going to continue with this chapter in the next part of the video. Thank you.